All right, good evening, everybody. Welcome
Hey.
to CrappieKast. My buddy John Palmer on location at Lake.
Lovely Lake Seminole.
Hey, I don't know if you want me to name it or not. He's at Big Jim's on Lake Seminole on the Georgia, Florida. I guess right on the line there. So
Yeah, I'm over on the Georgia side. Yeah, Donaldsville. I always want to say Donaldsonville, but it's not.
Donaldville.
Yeah.
I got you. We got Ron Crawford tuned in on YouTube, Scott Seals, as he's putting a crappie pie in the oven. Jess Pratt's tuned in on Facebook. Ron Crawford's on YouTube. Jordan Hauser on YouTube. Paul Foster. Ron Crawford said it's raining here in Chattanooga. Jamie Hall said, "What's up, man?" We got a few people tuned in already, which is good. You had some good weather today, John. No wind.
You got a little windy there this afternoon. The biggest thing is they're having that MLF Toyota Series bass tournament here right now.
Oh, crap. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. And you don't want to be anywhere around that channel in the afternoon when they're going to weigh in. So
they're getting down, Julie Brown.
Oh, my gosh. There's one place up there that you and I fish at the channel back toward the bank on the Florida side.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even dare to go over there because they were going in to weigh in. They were skint back.
Yeah, they give it hell up through there, boy. Woo!
Yeah, they do.
Well, they know where they're going. I hope.
But they're gonna narrow that thing down. I think so. Saturday, maybe there won't be as many boats on that.
Right. So, yeah, a couple there. Yep. James Trott, Rob Thumper Riders tuned in. Byron Weiss is tuned in. He's right down there by you. You in Byron's town right there.
I told Byron I made a mistake. I should have just went over to his house and done this. And he could have been on it with us.
Yeah, I've been good to have Byron on. We didn't have him on. I love old Byron, man. He's good. He's one of the good dudes, man. You meet a lot of good people in the fishing industry, especially the crappie industry. I mean, just, you just do, And fortunately, we were friends, though.
Byron's got that new fiber internet at his house, so it's knocking fire over there.
He's got what? He's got new.
He got fiber. They ran fiber down by his house. Yeah.
Jason said I need to share that steak. I just cooked me a big old ribeye and ate it. I couldn't eat it all, Jason, so you're welcome to some of it. That thing was big as my head, John. That thing was about that. Well, it was about like that.
Oh, wow.
It was a big, and I went to Costco, and man, I had to get the hell out of there. I get to staring at all that meat like a damn lion. I had to get. It was
Robbie, I'm down at Lake Seminole.
That's it. Let's see. James Trott said his wife has a place down there.
At Lake Seminole?
That's what James Trott said. His wife's aunt has a house down there.
Oh, his aunt. Okay, I thought he said his wife did.
No,
wow, we just now heard about this.
Blake McDaniel's tuned in. Appreciate Blake. I appreciate all y'all tuning in. John, y'all follow John's page. John, hell, it was 9 o'clock. John done had his 30. I mean, he was smoking down on them. So
yeah,
we'll go into some of that detail. I fished with Charles yesterday evening from the paper mill in between storms, and that water shot up down there where we were in 4 feet, and it was kind of solo like John was. He'll go into detail, but caught a bunch of turds yesterday. I was telling John, on the phone, a bunch of, I guess, fish that got left on structure, and just a bunch of little 8-inch little turds, which is good. I mean, it's the future of the fishing, but John, you caught some pretty good fish today, didn't you?
I did. They were, I just got in some timber, some pole timber, standing timber.
Yeah.
And picked my way through it. And you just look for that anomaly on that piece of timber, and it'd be a fish. And when you brought it by them, they were doing the deal.
That's awesome. You said they were biting. All of them biting. So
they were biting good. we'll go into more detail. We'll wait a little bit. Let people get on.
Yeah, we'll let everybody tune in because we're real bad about jumping in here and start to share a little information or something about somebody asked something about electronics and then we have to kind of repeat ourselves. But hope Sonny's tuned in. Cat and Ben, I guess they down there on the Alabama River.
There were certain things you had to do today that made it a success. So we can talk about that here in a little bit.
Mike Kill tuned in. Good evening. Bill Lolly tuned in.
Definitely was not just shove the jig down there and it worked. You had to do some different things today. Yeah,
we'll go into kind of where I went. Last week, my boss called me. I know y'all going to feel sorry for me on Tuesday. He says, "What are you doing, son?" I said, "Well, I'm fixing to visit the Bill." He said, "No, you're not." He said, I'm going to need you to hook my truck to your boat and come down here to Seminole. So, hey, that's where I ended up. And I done the show down there at Tommy and Kim's. Everybody knows that. But Sunday, man, we went to a phosphate pit, John. And it was kind of fun, man. That's out in the middle of nowhere. Tommy's got it marked. And went out there, and the water was kind of chalky, cloudy looking, John. Just I guess from the phosphate. And we went straight to the west bank, really, and got in the pocket. And as soon as I dropped the trolling motor, I said, "There's one." Boom! It was 1.5 pound fish, 1.25 pounds, and we probably caught 80 fish. Just guessing, 70, 80, kept 50. But I'm telling you, John, that's the first time ever. I swear to you, I had to bring the jig behind the fish to make it move. It was weird. Like you literally almost had to hit the fish in the butt. It was so odd. I've never seen that. I was like, man, this fish like you about got to hit them. Kind of make them spin around. I don't know if it was because of the water or the fish. It was crazy. But we were throwing a 30-second. You just kind of, really wasn't heavy. So you crawled up behind them, and that fish would kind of shake a little bit. And then he kind of spin around and get under it. I wish I should have videoed some of it, but that was the oddest thing to, you don't ever know what it takes to catch those fish, That was real odd. It was
the fish at home have been swiping at the bait and missing intentionally, and then like they might do it 3 times before they ever bite the bait. This is at my house, and maybe that 3rd time they come eat the bait, it's the most aggravating crap in the world.
Yeah.
They'll come there and swipe at it, and a lot of people would set the hook on that because they see the
yes. Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
And they don't really feel anything. He's just up there. I don't know if he's just trying to hit it with his tail or what, but it's aggravating. And then you drop on him about 2 more times, and he'll finally eat. But they'll get totally upside down on the bait and do that swiping crap. And I was thinking, it's probably just all black crappie doing it. No, it's both of them. It's white crappie and black crappie doing it.
You think it's just oh hell, who knows?
I don't know. It's some bull crap. I'm wanting to get it out of their system. I know that.
Yeah, that's kind of, I don't know. That may have been the same thing I was running into, John. Like I said, I had to come up behind them fish a lot. It was, I don't know. John, me and Tommy did. It was kind of crazy. So I still think they're still in a little funk, a little bit from, you got to do a lot with the jig. Like, we'll go into detail. Like you said, you got to, be precise with it. And, they're not really coming a long ways, I guess, they're still in a little funk from then. They're so beat up, man. The ones we caught down there were just beat up. I did see some big brim breads, though. I thought of you, John. I found some. I'll guarantee you there's some giant brim in that thing.
Man, they're killing the shell cracker on Seminole right now.
Are they really? My boss will be pissed. Man,
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to tell you what a guy told me today, but they're killing them right now.
Good for them. I know, the water when we were there last week was 67, 68 degrees, and I knew it.
It was 74. It was 74 today when I talked to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's getting down there. That's where it's supposed to be, though. I mean, all kidding aside, that's where it's supposed to be. So. I mean, it's, you know, that it's coming. You know, when May gets here, May and June, to me, the fishing really picks up. I know Shiloh's been smashing them. Tim's been smashing them. Eric's been smashing them. I think they're going out early in the morning, you know, pretty early, fishing some lights, like he was saying on the show. And everybody's catching them, which is a good thing. You know, I told you the river shot up on us 4 feet. It's up right now. Hopefully it's going down. I was looking earlier. John, do you think? Here, hold on just a second. Let me post this on there. John, do you think that Mel's just running the jig off aggressively? That's what he's thinking. They're just.
I don't know. I mean, because this is open water fish doing it, Mike. It's not necessarily. It's nothing to do with. I don't think anything to do with spawning. It's the weirdest thing. I'd like to video it, but it'd be such a long video because you got to understand you're dropping the jig on them. They come there swiping at it, then you got to get the jig back on them after they've done it. And they might do it again, and it might be the third time before they ever eat the jig. It's kind of crazy. They weren't doing it here on Seminole, but they're doing it back at home. And I don't know why. But, you know, just when you got things figured out, you think, and crap like this happens. I mean, it's no big deal. But
yeah.
The other day I went and probably 1 out of every 4 fish was doing it.
Crazy.
So I don't know.
Oh man, I done hit the dab burn. Share your referral link.
I'm actually glad you did. You got it out of the way where I can see. Because when it's there, I can't see I don't want to hit it, and I'm glad you hit it.
I hit it. I'm deleting it right now. I'm trying to delete it. The good thing is, guys, I've had to block some viewers and stuff on here that get on here and try to, you know, scam somebody and all kinds of stuff. So, and I got these fat digits, so it's hard for me not to hit like that.
Now, I'm definitely glad you did it because what was happening was I couldn't. It was in my way of scrolling. I know it was in your way too. So.
Yeah, it's right there. They got it right there in line with the comments.
Yeah.
They change this thing up all the time, man. It's crazy. I'm not tech savvy anyway, but they change this StreamYard, which is this StreamYard is cool, guys, because I mean we can have up to 10 people on here. You know, it's crazy. Yep. You could
if anybody ever wants to come on, we'll be glad.
Yeah, man, any guest, hey, anybody wants to come on here and just show your face or show your kid's face. Heck, we're not. This thing's not structured. Y'all know that by now. We fly by the seat of our pants. We don't ever talk about. I sent John the link at 15 till. I mean, we don't ever talk about what when you speak about something you love and you share it, you can just kind of run at it and it doesn't matter, you know.
That go share your referral link is back on there again.
I don't know how to get rid of that.
I don't know. I've tried to mess with it, but I
don't know how to get it off there.
Oh well.
It don't matter. Tony Tucker and Wade Cole. He said they were swiping in my bait Monday on the home water. So Wade Cole was saying that on YouTube. So I guarantee you they're doing some crazy stuff. I mean, you know, the more you see that screen, the more behavior you see. It's crazy stuff you never would have seen. You know.
Oh.
IFCO lets you see it. So,
Shane, the South Alabama brim fishing legend has been stroking the shell cracker. From the Andalusia Marine.
Yeah,
he's a rigger there at Andalusia Marine. We affectionately named him the South Alabama brim fishing legend. He has been killing the shell cracker.
Good for him. Have you been out there, John? Have you been out there?
Yeah, oh yeah. I got me a little dose of him.
Yeah, I was wondering. Usually he'll call me and I hear his drag going, guys. He'll call me. I hear that thing zicking, and it's thundering outside.
I keep a little brim stuff secretive because.
Oh yeah, you don't want to. Yeah, that's right. Let's see. Rob Thumper said that is true. The Peach State Classic is at Lake Talcon this weekend.
That's correct. It is.
With Mitch Blunt and Crappie Crane, all you guys, Rob, all you guys, man. I think their fish got a little bit better attitude than they had when I was down there last week, man. I know it's changed a little bit, but hopefully they catch them, find some big fish. I imagine they're going to catch plenty of fish.
Is Rob going to fish in?
Rob Thumper, yeah, he's down there. Rob's going to be down there.
Okay.
Clinton says, what temperature do shell crackers bed typically, John?
I don't know, but I start looking at the moon phases around, typically around income tax day, my birthday.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, I started looking for them. I remember, yeah.
Dogwood's blooming, full moon around that. A lot of people got a lot of comparisons they make on it. But there's some guys around the house, they'll go every day and check those beds.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, that they're typically the ones that bust them up first. So because they're the first ones to catch them on there,
Oh, yeah. Let's see what Struggle Bush is saying. Let's see. When is the next in-depth series? Would love a breakdown on lakes or update on the LVS 34. We hadn't done one of them in a while. We need to kind of, I guess we kind of need to do a tech show one night. Just let everybody ask live scope questions and,
Hell, they do it.
They can go back. It's all on YouTube. You can go back. You can go back. I don't know what show it was. We done a couple of them, but man, it got to where, heck, John was busy doing something. I was doing something, and it was. But those were fun, and John went down the rabbit hole. Believe me, on some of those. I don't know what's the latest update. I don't even know what the latest update is, John.
I don't know. I always do. Typically, wait for somebody else to do them. Then.
Oh yeah, 100%.
How it's gonna be, But if you've got some questions, ask them right now.
Ask them right now. Hey, ask. Dude, because the good thing about asking them, somebody else may be wondering the same thing, or myself, or anybody.
Any question is a great question.
Yeah, exactly. Look at here. There's Shiloh. Shiloh, he's probably tired. Hell, he's been getting it, man.
I'm still waiting on him to call me back. He's like, I'm gonna call you right back. And that's been 2 hours ago.
Let's see. Scott Seals with Get Together at Weiss Lake is Memorial Day weekend. We got a couple weeks, about a month. It's we'll be down there the 20. When is that? John will be down there early. Let's see. It is going to be the 24th and 25th of May, and then the Memorial Day is the 26th. So there you go.
Right. I'm gonna be there earlier in the week and do some fishing. Holler at me, if you want to go.
You see what Charlotte posted?
Charlotte's talking crap, probably.
He said, "John, where are you fishing tomorrow? I need to another live well to Rob." I guess people are accused.
Have you seen that video, Shane?
Uh-uh.
He caught a fish out of Tim's live well, and
I did see that.
It got over 1 million views.
I did see that. I didn't know what that was.
Yeah, him and Tim were right beside each other. He dipped over in Tim's live well and caught a fish out of it.
I seen him do that, but I thought, what the heck? Okay, I did see some of that.
Yep. He sent me a message the other night. He said it's at like 800,000 views.
Oh yeah, he said 1.2. Hey, I'm a kid killer. I got that video. It's done went up there It's almost 2.5 million. That thing got crazy with that crappie structure.
Yeah, Shane's putting out structure, and they said he was gonna kill.
So, yeah, I put out some blocks. Y'all seen the video? It's 39 seconds. Some 2x2. You
might want to put the knife up as you talk about this.
Oh, that's true. I'm sharpening it. I did. You're exactly right. I'll have to check it out. The Alabama Brim. There he is, right there. You were just speaking of him. There's the Brim legend right there.
We're talking about the Brim fishing legend. So
I'll have to share that video. I seen it, but I didn't know what it was. I don't know how it came across. Oh, it's true. Charlotte said I'm gonna get banned for 3 weeks. No, hey, look, my personal Facebook, John, is still throttled back. So we're not going to share it for breaking. Now, CrappieKast page, they're recommending it again, but my personal page, they're not. So,
Oh wow.
Yeah, it's crazy. But anyway, it's that was back in January. Yeah, James said I would like a master class on breaking down a lake. That would.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I'll tell you what you do, James. Hey, you just, we went down the rabbit hole of some of those shows. I need to, we really went down because John shared some pictures, some bins, and some timber. We shared a ton of stuff on that, James.
We did.
You'll go back on YouTube. Matter of fact, while we're just sitting here, I'll go back and see if I can find it. We done an in-depth series. We done 2 or 3 of them, and they were. Turn this. They were down. It went down the rabbit hole. So.
I am shallow.
Shallow. What's he saying?
So that's a pretty good question he's asking there.
Yeah. So who's seeing fish starting to pull out in the summer outs? I am too, Shallow. That when I went this weekend, I'm going to Demopolis. I got my cousin coming in from Atlanta, her and her boyfriend, and we're gonna try.
Thank you for asking that question. So. What I try to do every year is I look at like key indicators for what he's talking about, fish coming back out to summertime patterns. So I've got some like brush piles and some stumps and stuff that kind of indicate that they're coming back out. And what you do is you'll see that every year, like, oh, I remember that was the first one they came back out to. And that's the things you can check every year to let you know what's about to happen. So we talked about this, I mean, probably a year ago or whatever, making notes in your phone or in a notebook or something that you can look back on this date back, last year or the year before. It will help you so much. And now, in today's time, I've got my Amazon photos pop up pictures every day of what I was doing this time in the past few years on this date. So what I do every day is, like, if I'm fishing a place, I'll take a picture of the waypoint of where I caught fish and was successful, and it'll pop up every year in my photos. And so, like, I'm like, dang, all right, that was this day last year, and I'll go back and check that place again. And that's just a simple trick to put you back in the right place, because there's no way we can remember what we're doing on this exact day. But here's the funny thing about that. So I'm down here at Lake Seminole. Byron Wise lives down here on Lake Seminole. He and I had some pictures pop up from this past couple of weeks of places we were fishing this time last year. Well, I went back there, and he's gone back there the same time frame this past week. Nothing. It's a ghost town. So the fish, I mean, right when you think that you've got them figured out, it will change. And what's so bad about, typically down here, if there's not crappie on stuff, there's going to at least be catfish. Well, this particular spot, there's nothing. I mean, there's nothing. It's just a ghost town. So.
There it is right there, John. If you go to CrappieKast In-Depth Series Episode 3, it is mapping and side scan.
Oh, wow. I do not want to go back and watch.
Hey, both our fat faces on there. Lord have mercy. But yeah, that's it right there.
Shane, the brim fishing legend, he's got him some good side imaging now. He is a brim bed finder. He is dialed in on the side imaging.
Let's see what Shiloh's saying here. Who sees fish getting on a timing schedule? My summer brush tops are loaded after 10 in the morning. Before then they're up spawning feeding flats and moving off as a woman. That's exactly right. They do a bunch of moving. I agree with you. Shiloh, you notice that, John, where they're as long as the water's the same and hasn't risen, and anything like that. You notice, like, I think it's funny when people rush out there to get out there at daylight and they go to places and then we don't, I'm not going there till 10 o'clock, and you start sacking them. They're like, what happened? I mean, fish wasn't there, kind coming out of the mud, coming out flat, you know.
So like some of these timber stretches here, especially, I've gone and found fish, and then like somebody's gonna go with me the next day, and I get there early with them, and I'm like, I promise y'all there were fish here yesterday.
yeah.
All it is I found the fish a certain time of the day, just like what Shiloh's talking about, around 10-ish, and I've learned, I'm like, just calm the little butt down, go back, and just give it a little time, and they'll load up in there. What I think is those fish, you know, at night they just kind of spread out and feed, and it takes a while for them to get back centrally located, and a lot of it's got to do with the sun. You know, first thing in the morning, the sun's not dead overhead, so they're not having to use that shade, and I think that might be some of it, and just feeding patterns start changing as we go along. And then, you know, here shortly we'll have the thermocline to think about. All those things, you know, add to the mix.
Yeah, there's so many factors that do that. Like if the water's stained, of course, it's going to warm up faster because of the sun, and then they can see shad better in the sun. And, you know, it's just, man, it's, you know, all kinds of stuff, you know, a lot of factors. I mean, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go back to Rob's question. Look at here. Neil Ford said, thanks for all your help with my new boat. Can't tell you how much I appreciate everything. He called me and had me fired up. Neil's ordered a new boat from Andalusia, and hey, he didn't skip anything, and he's finna have him a rig. So,
man, Neil Ford, I appreciate it. You know, Andalusia Marine's been good to Jessica and I, and you know, he can be a testament to tell you how good they'll be to you. So if you're looking for a boat, Andalusia Marine right now is a great place to start your journey. They consider themselves the panfish headquarters. You know, for stick steer boats, but they also carry, you know, express boats. They got bass fishing models, crappie fishing models, anything that you want to think about. Start with them. I promise you'll be happy with those guys. But let's go back into how you had to catch the fish today, where I was at.
go ahead.
So the water, you know, we had all that rain and everything was blowed out for a while, and now it's clearing up here. So when I get to a spot, I want to test how well the fish can see my jig. And today, if I jam that jig down in there close to them and made them see it, they would just do the little follow crap. But I found out they could see that jig at like 5 and 6 feet away from them.
Oh.
So I would never bring it closer than 4 feet or 5 feet. That's how I wanted them to see it from a distance, and then they would run up there and just blow up on it and attack it. So you know, a lot of times people think, all right, I see the fish, I got my jig and the fish in the same picture, but everything's not the same brightness. Well, if you got everything correctly today and you kept the jig about 5 feet above the fish, it was going to blow up on it. So you can't always just like shove that jig down on the fish and it all work out, because these black crappie want to be the attacker. They don't want it just plop down on their nose. They want to like ambush it, that sneaky attack. They want to be the sneaky attacker. That's why when you got one following and you slow down and give it the jig, they don't do right. Same thing applies from letting them come from a distance and attack a jig.
Yeah, they do like that. You know, that's like I told you, we were down there at the phosphate pits, had to put it on it. But John, like you're saying, your first cast, if one comes from 5 feet, that's what you want. You don't have to work near as hard. You can put people on them. You can get them in the vicinity of those fish. You know, you got the right color and all that stuff. If they fire like that's what you want. And like you said, the ones at the house are swiping. There's so many different scenarios in this day to day, hour to hour. It could change, you know, different area of the lakes. I mean, you know, when you're casting to them, or when you're, you know, you had the advantage to pull it 5 feet from them or put it on their nose. You know, the long rod, you know, if they're sitting there, they don't want to move far from the structure and they're just doing a little turnaround on you, that, you know, you have to put the long rod on them. I mean, there's so many different scenarios, guys, but you learn all the time. And that's what makes you successful is you just the time on the water, all the patterns John's talking about. You know, Neil was talking about his new boat. Me and Neil spent so much time in Florida last year, and we really developed the habits of those darn fish down there. Like the kind of, when they was hanging on the bottom, once you had to snap the jig above them, and there's so much information that you had to process. And then when I speak to him, he's like, hey, man, you know where we were? This is what I had to do. And I know exactly what he's talking about because it's just time on the water. And we try to discuss different stuff on the show, but it's just all the time different. I mean, it's crazy how different the patterns are. For sure. I need somebody's question. We'll get to these questions. I won't go back to all this stuff. Rob said, this time of year, what areas do you guys look for when targeting big fish? I mean, when you're hunting one, what are you looking for, John?
I don't know. Down, it's different. It depends on if it's a white crappie lake or a black crappie lake.
Yeah, I know he's talking about like at Talcott. He's fishing a tournament. He's just trying to, you know.
I got you.
Yeah. I mean, I know what he's thinking, you know.
I'm really not looking at those fish that are in those big groups. I'm looking for the ones out away from them.
You're looking for the pairs and the solos. I mean,
yeah, I'm not looking for the groups of 20 and 30. I'm looking for the doubles and some of those singles that are by themselves.
You know, I mean, channel. What do you think, John?
I'm not really. I mean, I do that some because I like to catch big fish and it's fun to catch big fish. It's exciting, but you know, now I just go out and have fun to catch fish. If I come across a big fish, I definitely will try to catch it.
Yeah. You think like if Rob finds a pattern off a channel bend or something and it's in 12 foot of water, he needs to try to repeat that somewhere on the lake. I mean, that's the best information.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
I mean, they're not doing it by accident, you know, for sure.
And then, and it might not just be that, Rob. It might be the time of the day that they're coming up off the bottom. You know, those big fish might be feeding at a little different time than the average fish.
True.
It might not just be, you know, where they are. It's just when they're coming up.
Oh yeah. Country cousin Greg, I appreciate him tuning in. He said, do you think the moon phases has something to do with the crappie not holding in places before? Yeah, that's a good question right there.
Great question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I really don't know either. Hey, you think that? I know when the full moon is going on, John, it does mess with some fish. It you know, and I noticed in the summer, John, you can kind of go in a little depth for this. I know everybody don't like to fish in the dead heat of the summer, but John will tell you also, man, these fish, when they get set up on stumps or like he calls them chia heads, those bushes on top of those stumps, it's 12, 1 o'clock in the day. I mean, they're smoking it. I mean, they're set up. They've been there. You know, you don't know how long it has taken them to get there. I mean, but I'll tell you.
Say this: if you go and like you try hard and you just don't do well, sometimes if you go back and wait about 4 hours and go back out and mess with them, it can make all the difference in the world.
100%. Had it happen at Miller's Ferry a million times, John.
It's just they're in that little bit of a lull. You go back 4 hours later, you know, kind of like a fat boy, he's ready to eat again.
Amen.
Get the old brain reset.
You're right.
But talking about moon phase, Greg, I would say, you know, if it's a full moon at night, they certainly can see better. So I know with the flatheads, everybody says full moon, the flatheads will feed all night, you know, flathead catfish. But, you know, I've got to think that if the crappie are up and mess around all night, then flatheads are too. So you got to start thinking, you know, kind of like that. I don't know. I don't fish at night, so I'm probably not the best one to talk about.
Yeah, and I'm not a night fisher either. A lot of people enjoy doing it, but hey, I really don't know. That's a great question, though. Let's see what Shiloh's saying. John, would you rather focus on channel swings near the timber flats, or you just running long straights on timber near the river? Shiloh's going to go on there. So, Shiloh knows this. Shiloh's just asking these questions to help everybody else, I promise.
Yes, I promise you. It is very helpful for the show because it helps it, progress.
Yes, 100%.
Would you rather focus on the channel swings near the timber flats, or are you just running long straights on the timber near the river? I guess he's talking about here.
Yeah.
Okay, so Shiloh, the way I approached, I have not been here to Lake Seminole since November.
That's right.
So the way I thought about it in my mind before I got here was, I'm like, all right, we're postponed. Where would be the first place that crappie would come? What timber would they come out to first after they spawn? So that's the way I looked at it. And I also looked at it as previous knowledge, which kind of basically got shit canned when I first got here. Well, not really. I went out and caught fish.
Amen to that. I've been there and done that.
I caught fish, and then I went and checked some of the stuff out where I thought they would be. But anyway, no, I went to outside some areas, that some shallow areas where there was timber, and it was a success. But here is different. You'll see some channel swings, and you'll see some stuff that you would swear would be excellent, and it's never good. But these fish, this is not a good comparison down here on this lake because they do totally different things here.
True, they do some out of the ordinary.
But now, if we were going, say, up on the Alabama River, I'd start looking the same. I'd start the same way. I'd say, all right, we got a spawning stump flat. I'd back out from it, and start going back out toward the river, and I'd look at, where I would think they were going back out to, or, just where they're leaving their spawning area. That's why when I put out brush, I put out brush out from the spawning area where they can hit it going in and coming out. So I think of the same thing when I'm looking for fish this time of year.
Yep. That's exactly right. But yeah, I mean, that's the same way with me. I know at Miller's Ferry last weekend, the wood and the edge of the weed line is where everybody was catching fish. I'll post this while we're talking. He's shouting out to Andalusia Marine. Neil said they done, and Neil done all this over the phone, guys. John's help and Josh, they done all this over the phone, checked all their packages off on his boat. But I was just posting that. They're one of the sponsors, and they're good friends of John and Jessica, and they treated me fair. So let's see. I know John doesn't do this much at all. I know I do. John, he's asking when you make the switch to hair jigs. I do a lot when it gets hot. To me, I mean,
I used to do it a lot. Great. Now I just keep moving. They won't be hard headed. I try to find some more fish.
I'm the same way too, John.
I've kind of found that it's not. I don't necessarily think it's the jig. I think it's the fisherman that does the right things.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's a lot that you can do wrong with a jig, and people don't realize it. It's a
lot of it's how far you keep it away from that fish.
Exactly right. It's that cat. It's the cat and rat mentality. Yeah. They want to be the cat, and if you stop it, hey, or you do anything out of the ordinary, especially over in Grenada, man. When you get over in the summer and it has to be a smooth transition over the fish and away from no twitching, no nothing. It's crazy,
Shane, I guess she's claiming you as her son now.
She's claiming you. She ain't talking about me. They were talking about them fish. Jamie said he changes his when they don't buy his plastics. There you go. Only reason I do it, Country Cousin Greg, I can stall that bait if it's a hair jig, if I'm throwing a 16th and all of a sudden I got some shallow fish, I can stall that bait. I've got some weedless hair jigs I've drilled. I've had about 1,000 of them made, it feels like. But it's nice when you're catching a lot of fish too, because you don't have to change the bait as much. But Limits Tackle, Wise Choice Tackle, they make great baits, and you catch a lot of fish on them until your line wraps around it and cuts it or something. What's Tim Pentecost saying? Fine fish and don't be seen there very long. You won't get near it the next. Tim deals with a bunch of buzzard. What do you call them? Whole buzzards.
Whole buzzards, yeah.
Whole buzzards. That's funny, Tim. You shouldn't be a movie star, Tim. You got to get it. Hey, you're gonna.
We're gonna get Tim's boat. When next time I'm up there, we're gonna get some rattle can, like matte black.
There you go. Do it like what's old boy in Mississippi that I follow? He's funny. Riddle.
Riddle, yeah, we're gonna
Riddle took a bullet bass boat and spray painted it, buddy.
Everybody sees that red boat and they go to trying to mess with him or look for him. We're gonna make it where you're blending in more.
Well, when I told y'all, my buddy Shane and I were cleaning fish, and all these husbands send their wives down there trying to give them information instead of them coming to ask you. And the lady was like, "Where was you fishing at?" I said, "Ma'am, I got a big tattoo and a camouflage boat. It ain't hard to find me. You're welcome to come up and sit beside me and speak all you want, But hey, Tim Pentecost is guiding 99% of the time, guys. So look, be courteous, give him a little space. He'll answer your questions on Messenger till he goes to bed. He might go to bed early on you, but he's just like John and I. He ain't trying to hide no bunch of information from nobody. So, but hey, I try to be courteous to people if they're they're guiding or whatever. And I've had people say, they'll text me, "Hey Shane, you on a guide trip or fun fishing?" I'm like, "I'm fun fishing." Like when Shane and Leo went with me, and they pulled up beside us, and they're being courteous. If I was guiding or somebody, they don't want to, approach anybody. But as long as the wind ain't blowing, the boat ain't slapping, you ain't hurting nothing. So.
What's funny to me is when you got people ask Creek, my little boy Creek, about where we're fishing. He's like, "Oh, I don't know." He'll just put "I don't know." He'll put it on.
Good question. This is a good question we get asked. Byron said, "I caught several full of eggs this past weekend. Were they hold them eggs or they late spawned?" I'm talking about the red veins.
Today I caught one. She was pretty high up on a piece of timber. I was like, I wonder if she's just up there trying to spawn. And she had a sack full on her.
Man,
most of them were skinny, but I caught one. But I've caught them up into June and July and still have eggs in them. I guess they absorb them, or
most of them, yeah. I don't know. I guess some big females make so many, John. There's no way they can lay all those eggs.
Yeah.
I mean,
and then you hear people talk about they'll go in waves. Like some of the fish will go in and spawn, and then another wave will go in. That way they have a successful spawning season. They don't all go in at one time. And I don't know if that's some of it, but down here, you've got to think down south down here that they're done. But I've got one. I caught one today. She was thick with it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's exceptions. I mean, in nature, you don't ever know. So same way with
you got to think though, when you're out there and you're way offshore and you're in this deep water, you're catching half male, half female. You got to think they're done.
Yeah.
Unless they're out there spawning on that high timber, and Byron and I have talked about that before. He thinks because some of these big stumps, they're big enough for them to spawn on. They come way up, like almost.
Oh yeah, shoot, some of them's almost out of the water down there. That for sure. That place is full of timber if you ever seen. I guarantee you it is.
But the only thing that I think about that is I know that over there at the bank, where you typically think of crappie spawning, that's where your warm water temp's going to be at, for them to run up there and do it. And then, that's got to be one of the biggest triggers for them is the temperature of the water. And that water that's further up there on the bank's gonna be warmer.
That's right. That's a good question. I can tell you the answer, Scott, because I've lost a many a fish. What's the best way to keep 5-pound braid from coming out of the hook gap? He's talking about the eye, I'm sure.
Well, Scott, call Steve at Limits Tackle, and that'll eliminate a lot of that. I'm sponsored by Steve. I'm on his pro staff, but Steve with Limits Tackle, he makes a superior jig head that's not going to happen with. And but in the past, when I would get a jig head that I had that problem with, I take some vice grips and just like gently snug that eye back closed good. And that's what I would do. And then you got some people that put super glue on it. But you go to beating on enough fish, that super glue is going to let loose.
Yeah, they're going to have that, when they pour so many molds and stuff. But I'll tell you this, John's really got me throwing that smaller hook on all these fish. And I used to laugh at John. I said, what kind of brim hook is that? Number 6 and number 4s. And you bend that hook up, of course, you bend that hook up, and get a little bit of angle, a little bit up like that right there. And when it gets in the roof of that mouth, it is nasty, son. It's over. I mean, I'll go and tell you, I wish Neil, I had that little fork tool. I need to go get it, John, and show everybody. Keep talking. I'm going to go get it. It's on my boat. I'm going to bring it in. It's the neatest thing I've ever gotten as a gift. And everybody asked me about it. Go ahead. I'm going to go grab it.
I wish you would have cleared this one comment before you left because I don't remember how to do that. All right, guys. He just left me to the wolves here. Oh, we're back. I figured out how to do it. Most of ours today are a very small amount of eggs. Tim, did you fish on Weiss Lake today or Neely Henry? Tim Pentecost is the one that asked the question. He is one of the biggest, probably the biggest guides on Weiss Lake, but he also fishes Neely Henry Lake. He and Shallow both do. What's going on, Adam Acker? Good evening. You've been smoking a turkey, son. I've been enjoying
turkey. Look, you couldn't buy this off me for $1 million. I want to show everybody this. Y'all see that little fork? It's a stainless. I don't know where Neil got it. I still don't know. I need to ask him, and I keep forgetting every time I speak with him. But you take this hook, and when that hook, you can push it right out of their throat. It's the neatest little tool.
Looks like a fondue fork or a marshmallow.
It looks like, instead of taking your finger and having to push down there and getting stabbed, you can take this thing and push the back of that hook right out of their throat. I don't know where the hell he got this thing, but everybody gets on my boat and says, where you got that? I said, my buddy Neil gave it to me, and I don't know where the hell he got it. But maybe he'll tell us on it. I'm sure he's still watching, but I'm telling y'all, that is the handiest thing when you're dealing with blackfish, especially. I need to go put that back in my boat. I'm gonna lay it on my phone because I guarantee you.
He'll eat it. Okay, that's cool. He said they were thinned out up there.
Oh yeah. There's Michael saying, I want to try some braided line. What's the best and what is the best pound test? If you're casting, I know what John's gonna say. The same thing I say.
Well, I've been using that. That Cash King. What's it called? Silky.
That stuff is bad news, buddy.
Yeah, Silky. I think is what it's called.
That's it. I have a box here.
Yeah, that stuff, especially if you got a kid, it throws well. It doesn't get the wind loops as bad, and you can see why they call it Silky. It's got a silky finish feel to it. I don't use it on all my rods and reels. I will eventually, because the good thing about braid is once you put it on there, it's going to last you forever.
There's the answer. Neil said this fork is for picking out meat on blue crab. See, hell, I didn't have a clue.
Huh?
That is it's stainless.
Something to do with
It's got a lot of stainless in it. It does hook to my magnet. I got a little mat on my boat. I'm telling you, that is a handy little dude right there.
You still got we bought at the expo.
Yes, I use the hell out of that thing.
Me too.
I've got a little mat. I don't even know what it comes with. It's a mat, guys. It's it has some. I guess I put some Velcro down, and it's a magnet, and I can throw my jigs on there, and I throw this on there. Don't have to worry about blowing out. That's a handy little tool. Thank you, Neil. That's what that is. I'm telling you. Let's see. There you go, Scott. Exactly. That's what you need. I'm telling you. Hey, this is. He said it'd be great for popping jigs out of bluegill. Exactly. You know,
that'd be
those long shank. Even though you lose those long shank hooks, and let me tell you, when you go to push it on that jig and you hit the gill, next thing you know, you kill the fish, and then you got one dead, and it gets ammonia and live well. Next thing you know, it kills several other fish. This will save you from trouble.
It'd be better for bluegill and shellcrackers. That's the ones that smoke it. Golly, it's a pain in the butt. Trying to get your needle nose down in there and just aggravating.
Every restaurant in any lake will be missing crab forks. Yeah, sorry, Tim. Hey, I'm telling y'all, Neil gave this to me last summer, and everybody gets on my boat. So, hey, let me see that fork. And it works great. But that's just one of the things you come across. Neil's always thinking, and hey, I'm telling you, they come up with a good one with that one. So let's see, Country Cousin Greg, have y'all ever caught the elusive hybrid crappie yet? And if so, you tell people how to tell the difference. That's a good question.
I caught a 2.5 pounder 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And you talking how you tell the difference is the sucker looks like a daggone black crappie on the front side, and you start seeing the bar and on the back side.
Looking at them, yeah.
It's a big frame, thick. It's just a big fish. Typically they are, but he'll have that speckled look on the front side of him, and you start going about over halfway down him, at 3/4, and you start seeing that bar, and you know that you see on a white crappie. Shallow is probably one of the best I know of it at like finding their habitat in the area.
He is the hybrid man, no doubt. He can be labeled.
Always seek them out. I normally catch them and come across them by luck, but I caught a big one about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, I remember the video.
Especially for the lake I was on, you don't catch fish that big on it, and that's why it was big, because it was a hybrid.
Oh yeah. Let's see. Corey said that Walmart and Amazon sell these forks, 4 for less than $10. I don't know.
You know nothing. Now I know what they are. I've got some at the house.
This thing's stout. I don't know what this is. I'm telling y'all, this thing right here, like I could.
If I had it on my boat, I've been shoved up under my damn toenail. I could never do that.
Yeah, it's stout. So it's stout. This one's heavy duty. I've had it. Hey, believe it or not, I've had this since last summer. So hell, you know how I am, John. Hell,
I can't believe you can't.
John said he lost the fishing rod.
Yeah, I kicked. Oh, I didn't kick it all. So I got those little rocket launchers, pole holders on the side.
Yeah.
It was a deeper fish. I went to pick one rod up and put the other one down. I went to pick something happened. Picked one up, and it sent one off the side of the boat. And I was like, "You gotta be kidding me!" I said, "This ain't no way to start a trip." But I didn't let it get me down.
No, that's exactly right.
Shane, that's a record for you keeping up with something that long.
Dude, that's probably because Neil gave it to me. Normally I'd have punted it off there, or I've blown a Sims rain jacket out.
You still got my fillet knife blades from. It's about to be a year.
Oh yeah, I got blades out the yin yang. I got blades everywhere.
I bet you do, because you accumulate other.
Actually, I bought some new. I had to buy some new. What's the ones we run in the Rapala R12s? The 9-inch ones.
You probably gonna give me the dullest mess back.
No, I'll get you some new ones. I got some new. Hey, I've got 2 new pair in my box in the boat.
That just lets me know you've been using the ones that I left.
I've got a big box in the boat's got them in it. Hey, I'll swap something in the heartbeat. Don't think I won't. But it's hard for me. I'm telling you, I'm the worst about keeping up with stuff. But hey, this little fort right here, I've kept up with. I'm gonna go put it back out there as soon as we get off the phone.
You gonna give it less respect now that you know what it is.
I don't know. I didn't know what it was. Neil probably told me, but Bill Ballantyne, crappie running. They are probably off the last weekend. I know the people that done well in that tournament were catching at Miller's Ferry were catching fish on a little structure right off the weed line. So, and they were catching males and females. My buddy, they caught some on beetle spins, believe it or not, John. My buddy came in second place catching them on beetle spins. So,
I will say here in the past couple of weeks, you know, in the same general area there, I've been catching some open water fish, some fish going to structure. It's been a little combination of everything. So, I think, you know, here in 2 weeks, you'll start seeing fish on structure, you know, brush pile, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, they got, you know, as the water warms up and it stays in the 80s, you know, it's going to put them there.
What you don't think, well, a lot of people don't realize, you know, we had all that rain and it blew everything out.
Cool the water off too, you know.
It was, you know, that pushes fish off of any structure they were trying to be on. They're not, I mean, that gets them off of it. When the water's mud, trash, that's when you're going to be dealing with a bunch of isolated fish that are, you know, suspended. So think about that next time the water's blown out and you're like, oh, I went to my brush pile and there was nothing on it. Well, because the water's blown out and it's muddy as crap. They're not going to be on it then. They're going to be spread out and suspended. So you're going to have to hit those singles.
Oh yeah, that's what you were doing today. You said he said they were eating too, boy. So.
Yeah, I don't think it was nothing to do with the water being blown out or muddy.
No, it wasn't from that. That's just what they're doing. So
yeah.
Tim said I'm ready for y'all to come to Weiss. Hope everyone can make it. Hey, that's Memorial Weekend. I hope we have people. Like I said, I hope to go live and you know, and show everybody, you know, having, you know, just fellowship and cooking and drinking beer and talk about fish.
Oh, William White, he said that he's going to be cooking breakfast one morning.
Oh yeah, I'll be looking forward to that. Yeah, for sure. Whitetail gobblers fish. He said catching lots of fish transition on docks as they build back up from the spawn. Sun up, focus on shady area. We spoke about that early in the show, buddy. Exactly right. I know he fishes Logan Martin a good bit in Smith Lake. I know him. Logan Johnson's been smashing them up there on Smith Lake, man. He's been hammering them. So he's a guide up there at Smith Lake. Yeah, that's Logan Martin. Yeah, I figured that's where it was. I know Ryan's been catching some there also. So I think, you know, everywhere's been catching. But, you know, everybody, you know, but that stupid river I fish, you know, it's so temperamental from the rain. You get up north because you got the Tom Bigby and the Warrior, and they'll let it fly up here and let it flood down there. So, it's going down. I like it to be 77. It's seldom down. If y'all fish, that's right below Lock 8. That 77 is a magic number. It's like 81 now. But that 77 lets me get in some backwater I want to go to and put the fish on brush piles where they're not so scattered. So if anybody wants to take a mental note of that. 77 is a number. It's seldom dam. I think that's the name of that dam. It's really not a dam. It is a dam. It's just an overflow dam. So you fishing tomorrow? You fishing tomorrow, ain't you, John?
Absolutely.
Yeah. I know you're going to go get after them tomorrow. Should be a good day.
I'm not far from bed.
I understand that. That.
It's been a good show. I'm glad everybody hopped on here.
Yep. There's my buddy Steve Dove, one of our sponsors right there. One call heating in there. Right there. I eat breakfast with him all the time. He got him a place on Miller's Ferry built. Just got done. I'm about done with it. I spoke with him the other day. And he's going to be down there exploring new water. He had a place up here on the river for a long time, but he's been with us since day one. Oh, Steve's a good guy, man. You hit him up for heating and air questions, especially around here. And I'm sure he'll get down there to Miller's Ferry, and he could probably get busy down there. I guarantee you. So, but Steve talking about them ripping that they really pull the water at Miller's Ferry. You know, they got 3 turbines down there. So, let's see. I don't know what Clinton's asking. Something about shell crackers. I don't know what he's asking. He just said shell crackers, John, and got a question mark.
They're whooping on here on Seminole. I don't have anything. Yeah. I'm here for one purpose.
Yeah, he's crappie fishing. He is crappie fishing. Man, this hour done blown by. That good, man. I'm telling you.
I'm about to have to hop off here, bud, and call some of these people back, get a buzz in.
Call them, buddy. Hey, I got to text some people back. My phone's been going. Thank all y'all again for tuning in, all the questions, all the comments. Appreciate you guys as this thing keeps growing. We'll share some fishing reports this weekend. John will too. Y'all pay attention to John's page, John and Jessica's page, and
yeah, I finally broke down and did the monetization thing. So we'll see.
There you go. Yeah, you might as well get on board with that and just push it. But yeah,
enjoyed it, y'all.
Yeah, I'll see y'all. See you, John. I appreciate y'all. We'll be back live next Thursday. Thank all the sponsors and thank all y'all again. We'll see y'all.